If Barcelona don't move forward, Real Madrid will compete and will overtake them in the next few years. I think you're up first.
Okay, so this is from Kenneth Bernal. So, transfer rumours, the big one here. Will Neymar come back to Barca in 2021?
Oof, that is the hundreds of $1 million question. I think he's going to kind of come back to succeed Messi almost, and be that new, because he really is the only star player that's got that kind of power to be a Messi-like figure. But I just can't see Messi leaving just yet. So
I feel like he's going to see it through to the end.
Yeah, I feel like that might be a bit too soon. And obviously Neymar's going to be, how old is Neymar? I feel like he's going to be 28 this year. Or maybe he's already turned 28. And 29 next year, are you still going to be paying 200 million? The thing is, at PSG, what he's sitting on is worth more than the transfer fee that you'd buy him for. That's the problem, because they've already invested that crazy amount of money and they're still waiting for a return from it. So, I can't see it happening. I'm going to say no.
Okay.
I'm going to go with a strong no. Next up from Yash Gangodkar. Do you think the title race in both Serie A and La Liga will be more competitive, or will it be one-sided? Do you think one of the top 4 teams of both leagues have dropped this season, namely Atletico Madrid and Napoli, will pick back up and get to the top 4, or no Champions League for them next season?
Oh, so do I think they'll be more competitive? I think Serie A looks very competitive at the moment, I will say. La Liga, I think regarding Barcelona and Real, it's maybe not as competitive, because I just have a feeling it's just going to be another Barcelona season. I think from kind of 3rd to maybe 7th there's competition. There's competition in both. I think Serie A is more kind of like across the board.
Yeah.
I mean, Atletico and Napoli, it's not been their best. I am confident that Atletico will bounce back, because the point difference isn't that much, and I think they've only really got teams above them. Obviously, they've got to play Barcelona. I think they've just got Getafe and Sociedad, so I feel like they will be able to kind of pull themselves up. I think Napoli are quite a few points, like 6 points behind Roma or something, and they've got Roma, Atalanta, Inter, Lazio to play. So I think it will be more of a struggle. Who knows, maybe, like we've said, it's competitive, so who knows, maybe they'll be able to get some results. But keeping up with Roma, I'm not too sure how they'll do.
Yeah, I feel like there's always glimpses in the title race, and it's like, oh, someone's going to do something. Lazio are going to do this, or Getafe are going to do that, and then it just sort of slowly weans away. Like in the Bundesliga too. Like you think, oh, this is it. This is Dortmund's year, and then get towards the end, and Barca, Juve, and Bayern are just going to win it.
Exactly. I think it will be competitive, but there will also be a lot of kind of things that we expect as well. But next question. So this is from Sam Gaming. So will Haaland go to Real Madrid? If yes, can they compete or even beat Barcelona in the title race in this season or in the seasons to come? By the way, love your vids. Thank you, Sam.
Well, it's not going to change anything this season, because Haaland's not going to sign for them this season. Part of me thinks there's no way that one player, even though as good as I think Haaland is, there's no way that one player can change the face of the competition. But having said that, they're only 2 points behind Barca.
True.
Like if Real Madrid had, this season they've had injuries to Asensio. Hazard definitely hasn't been on form. Neither has Gareth Bale. Neither has Luka Jovic, actually. They'll have, in the coming seasons, Fede Valverde will be stronger. Odegaard will be back in the side, and if he can produce the form he's shown at Sociedad. I think the onus is on both of them to move forward, and if one doesn't, the other will take over. It's not like the other is so far ahead. If Barcelona don't move forward, Real Madrid will compete and will overtake them in the next few years, regardless of whether Haaland signs or not. And the same thing goes with Real. If they don't move forward and, they still pay Bale this stupid money and he's still in and out the team and, James and Isco are still there and they're still playing and they're inconsistent, and Barcelona improve, then they'll be the ones to kind of take over. I don't think Haaland is really sort of central to it. I mean, if they sign him, it's always good to have a great striker than not to have a great striker. And Benzema's brilliant too, but yeah, I'm not sure he's like at the centre of all this. He's not quite Messi or Ronaldo level. Next up, Ishan Mizra said La Liga and Serie A predictions. Okay, here we go. Greetings from Boston for both leagues. Who will win it? Okay, so I'll go quick fire. La Liga, who's winner?
I think Juventus.
La Liga, not Serie A.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I think Juventus are going to win La Liga as well, by the way. No, as much as it's close, I think Barcelona will do it.
Serie A is Juventus.
Juventus, yeah.
Top four?
I think it will. I think it's going to kind of stay similar. I think we're going to have Barcelona, Real, Sevilla. I think maybe Atletico might be able to recoup a few points. I think we'll probably have Juventus, Lazio. I think that's going to stay the same, really, kind of Inter, Atalanta, unless, I don't know. Yeah, I'd probably just go with that. Yeah.
Win the Golden Boot.
I have a feeling that Ronaldo is going to have his sights set on that, because I can't remember the exact numbers, but I don't think there's that much in it. He's second, isn't he? So I have a feeling that he's maybe, been training with his 5 million chefs and personal trainers in lockdown. He's probably made them all stay with him in lockdown, and I have a feeling that he's going to want that.
Really? I'm going to butt in here and say that Immobile is 6 goals ahead of Ronaldo.
6. I don't know, I just have a feeling.
Yeah. I would never write Ronaldo off. If there's one thing I've learned in the last 16 years of watching him,
and I think that's Messi's in the league. Yeah.
Okay, and get relegated if you've been following the relegation battle, it says.
I think it will stay the same with La Liga. I think, i.e. Espanyol. Leganes have actually done really well, I think, to stay in La Liga. They've not maybe had the best finishing positions. They've kind of always been around kind of 17th and all that. I think to have stayed in the league for as long as they have, I think that's great. And as much as, Mallorca have just come back into it, I think they're probably going to go down, because I think it's going to be between them and Vigo, and I think Vigo have just got more experience.
Yeah.
And I think with Serie A, again, I think it's going to be the same.
Yeah, well, Brescia are gone.
Yeah, I think the only one that kind of sticks out between maybe Genoa, and I'll probably say this wrong, but Lecce. If I've said that wrong, apologies.
I thought it's Lecce, actually.
I thought it was, but I don't speak Italian, so
Me
I don't
neither.
know.
Let us know, please.
Yeah. Maybe we need a pronunciation. Well, I need a pronunciation lesson anyway. But yeah, I feel like it maybe could be between those two. But yeah, I think relegation is pretty much going to stay the same.
Perfect. Right. On to you.
Okay, so this is from Ibrahim. So, if Chelsea manage to finalise the Werner deal and sign Chilwell and Onana, they can contest for the Champions League. So, can they? Can they win the Champions League? Love from Nigeria. Well done on 400k. Thank you. Awesome.
We're actually going to speak about this very soon on a video coming up. Can they challenge for the Champions League?
Definitely challenge for the title.
I would think challenge for the title. Yeah. I think Chilwell, Onana and Werner fill 3 spots that Chelsea need to fill, which is quite good. I would say that the Champions League, look, they're doing well. They've got their first season under Frank Lampard in a squad which he's inherited and built some, put some fresh young impetus into it, and they finished top 4. Well, it looks like they're going to finish top 4. That's good, but I think the Bayern game showed the absolute golfing class between finishing top 4 and challenging for the Champions League.
Yeah.
I think that is a massive gap. Chilwell, Onana and Werner would go a long way to closing that gap to the likes of Bayern Munich, who I think are probably favourites to the Champions League. Whether or not it would close it enough to have Chelsea as actual contenders, I'm not so sure. I don't think so. Maybe quarterfinals. Semi-finals with a bit of luck. Who knows? No one would have put Spurs as favourites, and they made it to the final. And there was a lot of luck involved in that. So I wouldn't say sort of team-wise, but they certainly have a much stronger team than they would. Of course, you're signing three class players at a brilliant age with great experience and with proven quality. So yeah, I mean, I will say they have to get there first. It looks like they're going to finish top four, but if they don't, that's completely out of the question. Right, Dev Kiran Banneker said, the rumours that Edinson Cavani might join Atletico Madrid. Your thoughts about this? How do you not mention Newcastle?
I feel like this is more of a glamorous move than maybe the Newcastle rumours. I can see it maybe working a little bit more. I mean, at the end of the day, I guess it kind of makes sense in that Atletico need goals. Cavani needs a club where he can provide goals, maybe be a little bit of a star, and maybe spend, a season or two just kind of like bobbing along nicely. And I think it could work. I mean, obviously, as we've said before in other Q&As, the goal situation has been abysmal, and they've obviously clearly missed Griezmann. So yeah, I'm not mad at that rumour. I think it would be a good move for him. Maybe a little pit stop before he goes back to his home country, as we've discussed before. Gives him a chance to still be playing in the big competitions, helping a team whilst they kind of figure the situation out that they're dealing with. So yeah, I'm all right with that.
I would see him more likely to do that than go and be like a brand new toy at Newcastle. Because at Newcastle, they may not necessarily be buying him because, they respect him as a player in his career. It's just sort of like, look what we can do with our money. We can buy fancy stuff. It's like, if I won the lottery and I went and bought a Lamborghini, I'd have no idea how to drive it. It would just look cool. It's just like a status symbol. Whereas I think at Atletico, he'd definitely do a lot better, I think, anyway.
Yes.
Undecided.
Okay, so next question is from Cry Darkness. So, question for you, Matt. What should clubs like Atalanta and Lazio do to upgrade themselves to a new level? And what should they do to be at the top? Like, what should they do to prevent being like Palermo or Parma?
Honestly, they're doing the best they can. I think that ceiling, if every few years Lazio can put a good title run together, great. But what they're doing at the moment is kind of performing at their level. They are not competing with Juventus, AC Milan or Inter Milan in history, in finances, in the attraction of the club, in the size of the club, the players that they've got, if you get what I mean. So I'm not sure they can do anything different, really. I mean, to avoid going like Palermo or Parma, obviously look after their finances and have the club run a little bit better than those two clubs were. But yeah, sometimes there's only so much that they can do. Lazio challenging for the title, there's not much more they can do apart from if Juventus fell off. The only reasonable explanation or the only reasonable advice I would give would be like Juventus, but obviously that's a little bit easier said than done. Unless you magic up the money that Juve have or suddenly have the tradition and the history that Juventus have, it's very difficult.
Yeah,
it's very, very difficult, and it's nothing to do anything they're doing badly or their fault. But Atalanta are in a great position now. They have a really exciting team and this and that, blah, blah, blah. If they lose one or two players and they go down to 10th, in 4 or 5 years' time, people will be like, oh, it's Atalanta, that medium-sized Italian club finishing 9th or 10th. No one's going to join them and be like, I love the history of this club and that one time that they finished 3rd and that one time they got in the Champions League quarterfinals. Like, it's not saying like, I'm joining Juventus and I can walk through the trophy room and smell the history of the club. It's not the same. They're just not at the same level, and I think to create that takes a long time. We're talking 20, 30, 50 years here. Next up, Patriots D. As the league will kick off, I'm excited to watch, hopefully, our future signing Thomas Partey. Not sure who he supports. Oh, it says Arsenal further on.
Yeah.
However, we've also been heavily linked with Espanyol's Mark Roca. My question to you is, who would suit/fit Arsenal the best, and who would be more of a realistic signing with us over the summer? Love from Boston.
Okay. So I think the Thomas Partey, it has been like this thing that's been discussed, and it's this massive signing that Arsenal really want. Obviously, we can all see why they would want it. He's an excellent player. He's done a lot at Atletico, and I think it would be really good for him to maybe come to the Premier League, prove himself in a different league, have new experiences, etc. And then obviously you've got Mark Roca, who I think you kind of look and you think, Espanyol, like, what's going on here? Especially where they are in the league. But he's kind of been like their one glimmer of hope, a bit like a Grealish with Aston Villa, I think, like that one person that sticks out. And you've got rumours, I think, I've read somewhere like Real Madrid might be interested in stuff like that.
Bayern Munich were interested in Roca last summer.
Yeah,
around
so
30 odd million.
I think they would both fit in at Arsenal. They wouldn't be looking at them if they didn't. I think that instead of Partey, he would maybe be a good kind of maybe slightly cheaper option, because I think he's got like a £35 million release clause, but with COVID and them being relegated, could they maybe, I don't know, could there be some kind of negotiation? I don't know. Versus I think Partey was is it like 44 plus or something? So it's maybe a cheaper option. He's younger. It's one of those I can see the attraction, but it's like if you've got your eye on Partey and you've been going so long for this player, like I see them maybe more going for him. I think this is, and also like you'd feel like a bit of a consolation prize. Like, yeah, we couldn't get Partey, but we'll have you instead.
Yeah, I mean, look, Mark Roca doesn't need to be chased after. They're going to be signing him from what will be a second division Spanish club in a poor financial situation.
Yeah.
They could turn up with 20-25 million and just sort of buy him, and it's not really going to pull up too many routes. With Partey, I don't think he'd move to Arsenal, especially if they're not even in Europa League. I don't think that would be a big step.
That's the thing, yeah.
Right, you.
Okay, so this is from Maximilian Mus, agent. So, Dest to Bayern, will it happen?
Yeah, in the long run, probably. There's also talk about Dest joining Bayern Munich from Ajax. We know that Ajax are a selling club. They don't always want to sell their biggest players. They sell them sort of bit by bit. It looks like Van der Beek and Onana are on their way out. Whether it's this summer or next summer, I can see Dest leaving. And the thing is with Bayern, they've kind of got to realise which positions they've got open in their defence. Is Pavard a centre-back or a right-back? Is Kimmich a right-back or a central midfielder? Once they nail this down and say, right, Pavard, you're the central defender. Kimmich, you're the central midfielder, so the right-back spot is open. If they haven't decided that, and Dest turns up and finds out that he's got Pavard and Kimmich ahead of him in the right-back spot, he's probably thinking, oh, I've made a bad move.
Yeah.
So I think once Bayern sort out who plays where, then they realise, right, we do need him or we don't need him, and if they do, then I can see it happening.
Yeah.
Next up, is this Mout 321? What do you think of Milik to Juventus? Will he replace Higuain, and how good will he be there?
I can see this happening. I think Higuain, thanks for the years, mate. You're getting on a little bit. Obviously, there's rumours, I think, with him going to the retirement home over in the US, or I think River Plate as well. I think
that's
it
not
would
a retirement
be.
Home.
Yeah,
You'll
no,
get
that's not.
River Plate fans on your back there.
No, I meant the US moves was the retirement home, obviously. But I think like Higuain's on something like 7.5 million euros. So I think Juventus would be keen to maybe get rid of that. And I think Milik's on something like currently like 2 million a season. So they could even give him a little bit more and still not be paying 7.5. So I think it would be a smart move. I think obviously he's younger. I think he's had like 9 goals in 16 games this season in the league. Would be a good support to Ronaldo, who obviously, as he's getting older, as much as he's in great shape, cannot be playing the same amount of minutes that he used to playing. So I think having somebody who can also add to that goal tally in a decent manner, I think would be good. I think it would be. I mean, you've got like no disrespect to Ronaldo or Higuain, but obviously they're getting on a little bit. You've got these two maybe older players kind of in attack. I think it would be nice to bring in.
And it depends what happens with Dybala as well.
Of course. So yeah, I think it would be a good replacement financially, on the pitch, age-wise, goals. Yeah, I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, I mean, and there's a bit of a history from Napoli to Juventus as well, and if they get a good bit of money, why not?
Okay, so next question. This is from Liv Thorpe. Do you guys have any footballing movies or documentary recommendations?
Ooh. Goal. Have you ever seen that film?
I don't think I have.
Oh my God. Goal and Goal 2. Don't watch Goal 3. It's terrible.
Okay.
Any footballing movies or documentaries? The Ronaldo one was brilliant.
Amazing, yeah.
The Cristiano Ronaldo one was fantastic. I'd say that's probably one of my highly rated footballing documentaries. I did not watch the Toni Kroos one or the Antoine Griezmann one.
I watched the Ramos one recently.
Oh, is that good?
Yeah, it's quite it's good because of their short episodes, so it's not too heavy. Yeah. And you see a lot of his life kind of outside of football. So yeah, that was quite nice.
Interesting.
And I think for me, one of the movies that I'll always like from when I was younger, you can't go wrong with Bend It Like Beckham.
Yeah, that's a great film.
That is a good film, I will say.
Oh my God, I have not thought about that in years. Yeah, what an excellent film. I can't think of any more. There's probably loads more.
I think the Sunderland, I've not watched it personally, but apparently the
Sunderland Till I Die, yeah, that's really good.
It's supposed to be good, yeah.
If you guys have any others, let us know in the comment section.
Yeah.
Because we'll happily take your recommendations and watch them all. Lastly but not least, Isham Mizra. I feel like Isham's got in again. Is that twice this episode? Wow. This is because it was a good question outside of football.
Yeah.
Do you have any siblings? Isham's asked. If so, do you get along now, and how do you get along as kids?
So I was brought up as an only child. I have half siblings that are a lot older than me, over 10 years older than me. So we do get on. I've got 5 siblings. I'm closest probably to the oldest one, my eldest brother, who I think is technically old enough to be my dad.
Wow.
But we actually get on really, really well.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's a good person to have in my life, definitely.
There you go. I also have 5 siblings.
No way.
Yeah.
There we go.
More in common than we thought, Angelina.
I know.
Yeah, big shout out to my 2 brothers and 3 sisters.
There you go.
They are awesome. Yeah, we fought as kids a little bit, but nothing terrible. Nothing more than your usual.
I'm so glad I missed out on that.
Play football in the garden and kick at each other and, all the regular stuff you'd expect. Anyway, that is all from us this week. Thanks so much for your questions, as always. Every Wednesday night in the YouTube community tab is where you can find the post to leave all your questions for the coming up Q&A. That's pretty much it, though. I have to say, I'm going to enjoy the return of football this weekend.
Yes.
Especially Serie A and La Liga. Or is it Coppa Italia this weekend?
It's Coppa Italia this week.
Anyway, more football is returning to our screens. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Make sure you smash the like button and subscribe as well, because we've got loads more content coming up as the football comes back. But for myself and Angelina, that is all. And we'll see you guys next time.